Right now, in JavaX, when you use the dialog, you cannot do .getText like that because there's no such .getText. Okay, I'm going to rename this a little bit to input dialog. Then you understand that. Now, I'm going to have to say, let's declare an array first to use string. Right, we talk about this array. We're going to declare everything based on our here, right? So we gonna declare input first. Okay. So let me pretty much just delete this line out, then you won't get confused. So I'm going to declare input, which is a string input, right? With all the, pretty much this input has all the commas, right? The whole set of numbers separated by comma. I will split that into array of numbers. So when you declare an array, you can put bracket in front like that, or it's the same or after, just like the way I declare initialize on my flowchart, right? Now I can do sum, which is double. We're going to do it double then. Initialize to 0. And this one I'm not going to initialize because it's going to return from when we do string, right? Method to split, it returns back an array. At that point, we'll give the values for us, so I'm not going to initialize that. Double average equals to 0.0. And then this is our counter in I equal to 0. All right, so now we're going to need to import java.util. Its utils is optional. And what's optional? Optional is when we do input dialog, it's going to return an optional back. Okay, which I need to give the specified type as string as input. Let's say input dialog, right? So it's return let me call like the user entered text like that. Entered text. Okay. Equals to input dialog. And this dialog to get is return that optional. No, not .get, .show. When you want to show and wait, it will return that. Okay. Like to make dialog show, and after the user click OK, it return optional into entered text. Alright, so now after that, we want to get the actual string. Enter text is not a string because it's optional. Input that we initialized earlier to an empty string here. Going to get the entered text dot get, that will return the string with the other commas separated in there. Now we want to set the input dialog content, right? Then user know what to do, right? So we can set content text. Pretty much just send a message to the user, say enter numbers Just like this text, right? Enter number separated by comma, right? Separated by. Now if I want to use I have to use escape sequence for the code, right? Okay, that's the escape sequence for that. All right, so once the user, once we show and wait, the user enter, all the input going to enter text, which is an optional type. This is a type optional, which is not string yet, so we have to do .get to get the input string. But this one with the comma separated, so we need to split it by using a string method, right? To split this into an arrays group, which is numbers equals to, which I declared right here. Input is string, so it should have the method split by the comma. Now we have a group of all the numbers, right? Separate by comma into an array group. Then we start to follow the flowchart, right? This is pretty much just doing the input part using JavaFX. If you use scanner, it's going to be very simple. But I happen to use a dialog box UI with JavaFX, so that's why it's a little bit more coding here for the input dialog for JavaFX. Now we get to the call the split here. That is the part return numbers. That's the second box. That's first one, second one. Initialize group. Let me do it separate by spaces, and you see right there, right? So the hexagon is for initialize values. You mapping and space, which is the flow down. This is input. This 4 lines to input, right? And this 1 line just call the function to split, right? I'm mapping it here, and then we should be able to do the loop now, right? So we gotta write a loop here. While, just like say while I, just say I. This is the expression in the parentheses. Like when you do if else expression in the parentheses, the same thing. Less than numbers dot. We have the size of an array, right? Exactly same pattern. Then we start a loop with the curly braces open and end. So this is inside the loop. When it is true, it's going to do the statement inside the loop, which is you add them. Sum, which we already initialized, right, equals to sum plus numbers itself now is a string. Whenever you add, you need to parse it. So we can use double dot parse double. Then you can pass the string inside the parameters, which is numbers and specified by I index, which is starting from numbers at index 0 and so on. And then we have to keep increment the I, right? Just like this statement and that statement increment the I. So it's going to increase, right? Keep increasing and keep summing until I happen to be 10 and 10, exit the loop, right? Because no longer be true here, false, right? So exit the loop, pretty much just when exit the loop, just follow the flowchart. We're going to do average right there. And we already declared average in the initializing part, which is sum divided by the numbers dot size, right? So we get an average. Then we are ready to print out. If you do system.out.print, it's done, right? Average right there. But we're gonna make an application with the UI, so we have to. I'm gonna use dialog box for alert. Alert is JavaFX to pop up with a message. So alert equals to new alert, and we have to specify the type. This is information type, alert type. So this pretty much just do dialog box information with JavaFX. Then I need to import them. Import JavaFX.scene.control.alert. Import JavaFX.scene.control.alert type. That's what we need. So because we use those alert boxes, we import them here. Now we can just say set content text to say the average is, and put concatenate with the average value that we have just calculated, and do show and wait, and the dialog will pop up with information, which is that print average, and then we're done. Stop them, like represent the closing purposes. Now make sure we right quit, right? And we have to set path, right? Export path equals to path, and the path to your JavaC, which is C program files Java, JDK, and bin. Alright, so we have to compile the file, which is the average calculator.java. A lot of errors. Application. So it doesn't know what is import JavaFX.scene.application. So let's verify stage 2. So we need to verify the package. So we can get to JavaDoc to verify application JavaFX. So JavaFX.application.application. Okay, so there's no such scene. So stage.stage for those. Okay, so we're gonna go back and fix the code. Alright, so package is not right. So it's actually application, and this is the stage. Alright, so right and quit. Recompile it again. Alright, it's numbers.size. So let's see if arrays can do .size or .length. Okay, so it looks like maybe we have to use .length, not .size. Arrays. So let's change this to, we can do dot length instead, right? Recompiling this. Alright, so average equal to sum slash average. So did we declare it correctly? Spelling average average equals to sum divided by numbers.length. When I change the size to length, I accidentally erased the open curly braces for a while. Alright, so that's why. Length, cannot find symbol numbers.length. So .length doesn't need parentheses, that's what it is. Okay, it's not the method. Just remove the parentheses.